Welcome to Vancouver Carpenter. So yeah, can you have tapeless mud? So what we've got here is this product from a fellow Canadian dude named Mike, and the brand is Leagle Drywall Finishing and Ink. Leagle Drywall and Finishing Ink. So anyways, there's a whole bunch of fibers and stuff in this mud. I don't really know exactly what's in it, but we're gonna add it to this batch of Quickset that I've got, and I'm gonna fill some of these sort of big gaps here. I've got some test scrap pieces over there that we're gonna tape together with this stuff. We're gonna see just sort of how strong it is in general and whether I would trust doing it on a bigger job and what some of the things to look out for might be. Okay, first off, I'm gonna dump this stuff into this bucket here so that I can actually get it all mixed in together. All right, so yeah, normally I would do this with a mixing drill or something, but in this case, I've got all this leftover mud that's gonna set up quickly, so we gotta work with it pretty quick. I'm just gonna mix it by hand. All right, let's take a look at what this stuff actually looks like. Okay, yeah, it's a bunch of little fibers. Might be a good idea to wear a mask when doing this stuff. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that. There it is, bunch of clumpy little fibers. I don't really know how much to add to this. I mean, I guess I could have looked at the instructions, but whatever. I'm gonna add about half the bag, see if it mixes up well. Okay, it's definitely absorbing some of the water in here. Quite a bit. So I might have to add just a little bit more water to this mix, which isn't ideal with Quickset, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be okay. Yeah, definitely increases the water demand. I'm pretty happy with that though. I mean, I think that definitely we've added enough of the material. I don't think I should add any more. Looks really thick and weird to work with. Okay, so I've chamfered the edges on this guy. Anyways, let's see how this works. Yeah, gooey stuff. I might have added too much. Maybe I'll look at the actual amounts you're supposed to use. Well, it definitely looks like there's enough fibers in this to do something. All right, let's get these done. Okay, this first one is a factory joint, bevel to bevel. Wish I had some longer pieces, but I don't. Oh yeah, I got way too much. Way too much in here. This stuff really fluffs up a lot. So, whoops. Yeah, I think it needs to be mixed. I think this stuff definitely needs to be mixed with a drill and to the right proportions. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow. But let's see what this does anyways. Okay, now we got this butt joint here. Let's get the mud right in there. On this next one, I want to try and actually leave some on the surface. I'm gonna make the joint nice and big, little 1/8 there. And let's get it nice and full. So, can't feather edges, not with the way I have it mixed, which could be totally wrong anyways. If I put my knife really flat, I can get it to settle down a little bit. Okay, I want to leave it like that because I want to see what it does when you have it built up a little bit more. This guy's looking okay. Ow, my hand. That was my knife. Still holding up. I'd say it's darn good for patchwork. All right, the tapeless mud has had a chance to dry overnight. I'm looking forward to pulling those pieces apart and seeing how strong it is. But real quickly, you guys, I want to give my buddy's company a quick plug. So if you need some electrical work done in the Lower Mainland, contact Redison Electric. They're really good guys. I hire them when I need to. But now let's get to pulling those apart because this should be fun. Okay, let's start with the butt joint. So this is the one that I think is most likely to have problems because I just don't trust that mud, whether it's got all these fibers in it or not, is going to not crack along this edge. So where the mud meets the edge of the paper is always going to be the weakest point. Now, of course, this isn't going to be an accurate test as to what it would do on an actual wall installed on the studs. All right, let's give it a quick little shake. I'm sure it'll let go. That's surprising. There's nothing back here. I'm actually surprised. So you can see we got not even a totally full joint. Like it's not full back here, but it's holding on really well. Like surprisingly well to the back here. Okay, good shake. So as you can see, it does pull away clean. Like I wouldn't trust that personally for butt joints. But it was a lot stronger than I expected. How hard is it to break this stuff off? Yeah. I mean, it does a good job though. It's breaking the drywall with it. So that's actually surprisingly impressive. Okay, let's try the flat joint. So this is where I think it's going to start to shine because we've actually got a buildup of the material and the fibers can actually lock in and do a really nice job. So I think this is going to be harder to break. And I think on flats, it's 100% acceptable. Well, it did break eventually, but it would be fine if it's installed. Okay, now we have a butt joint that has been coated kind of thick. So the benefit to doing it this way is just that you could do the tape and the first coat in one fill and you wouldn't have to go through the actual taping process. But I do think you'd still need to build it up like this in order for it to have some strength. But giving that a good shake, that's strong. Okay, it broke back here. It let go from the weakest point right there. But I'm just gonna keep kind of reefing on it and see how long it takes to actually break the stuff. Not bad. I definitely don't think that's as strong as paper, but I want to do this one more time and I want to mix this stuff in properly because you can see it's got this like almost cottage cheese texture. I don't think it was mixed properly. So if we look up close at this stuff, we can see that it's definitely got clumps and I don't think those clumps got a chance to actually like break apart and become properly mixed into the mud and start crossing directions like they're supposed to. So anyways, let's get a bunch of this stuff in here. Maybe about that much should be good. I'm gonna get those little clumps all busted apart. It's looking better. Now let's get some actual mud in here. That looks a lot better. I can see the fibers, but it doesn't have that cottage cheese consistency anymore. All right, look at all those fibers. You can see it in there. It's well mixed. Okay, let's do this again. So let's give it a little gap. And I also cleaned this pretty well. Like blew this stuff off and made sure to get most of the dust out. So let's really get this stuff in here. Okay, yeah, the edge feathers properly when you've actually mixed it properly. That's way better than that last time I was trying to do it. But I still strongly believe that this stuff needs to be built up like a layer of tape over top of the butt joint. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm even gonna make it an actually kind of thick one, just to give it extra strength, because obviously, doing this without it being fastened is not necessarily an accurate representation of the stresses that it's actually going to be under. And might I also note that paper tape joints also crack when they're put under the pressure of seasonal shifting. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. All right. Time to test out these little test pieces. So I also did some with just regular mud and mud and tape because I wanted to see how those would work. So first, let's see how just regular mud. So this is just all purpose with a chamfered joint. I don't even know if I'm even gonna be able to pick these pieces up without it breaking. No, held together. Most of the mud is forced through, but not all the way. Anyways, let's see how hard it is to break this. Pretty easy. I should have shaken it a little bit like I did the other pieces, but whatever. Okay, what do we have on this one? So this is the properly mixed mud. Here's the old one. Yeah, the fibers didn't really interlock. But yeah, it's a little bit shrunken. I think this is still quickset though. It's not regular all-purpose mud. Anyways, let's give it a little shake. That's pretty good. It's not structural shifting good, but that's good. I'm waving the crap out of that. That's pretty good. Let's give it the old knee test. Okay, it wasn't that good, but it was pretty good that I could shake it that hard without it breaking. Let's see how stuck on this stuff is. You can see it's pulling off the drywall that it's next to, so it's really getting in there. Yeah, that's super hard to break. So yeah, that was really tough. I'm amazed how strong that was and how hard it was to break that. It really does bind to it. You can see the drywall is I'm having to break the drywall, so it didn't break the bond. So I don't know. I mean, there's promise there. That's a really strong bond. With well-fastened drywall and not too much structural settling, it would probably work. Let's also note that paper tape doesn't resist structural settling. If I haven't said that already in this video, yeah, the paper tape still cracks. So what do we have here? Here we have a butt joint that I don't know if I chamfered or not. I don't remember what this one is. Yeah, this might be an unchamfered butt joint, just to see how strong it is. Let's give it a shake first. Okay, yeah, unchamfered, nowhere near as strong. Just not as much surface area, and it can break directly in line with the joint as opposed to on a 45. So that's definitely not as strong. All right, what do we have here? This is the flat joint. So it was a butted tight together flat joint. So there's no mud back here, which is pretty standard. If your flats are pushed together properly, then you really can't get mud in there. But this is, a standard paper tape joint. Obviously, if I go this way, it's just gonna fold right up. But let's see what happens when I give it a shake this way. Ow! Hit me right on my shinner and broke super easy. That broke surprisingly easily. Okay, on this one, I have a majorly chamfered out butt joint. It's hard to tell, but it's got a big 45 on that side, big 45 on that side. The mud didn't get in as much as I thought it was going to. It did there, but not there. Anyways, let's see. Okay, it folded back the other way really easily. Well, how about this way? Ow! Okay, it's pretty strong this way. I would say that is like maybe equally as strong or not quite as strong as the tapeless mud. I'm surprised. Like I thought the tapeless mud was gonna break easier and that this was gonna be way harder to break. But this broke a little bit easier than the tapeless mud. So obviously this isn't like some crazy scientific experiment with like, you know, calculated loads of torque applied to it. But I'm encouraged to try it again, right? Like that tapeless mud worked well enough that I would try it again. Anyways, that's all I have to say. I mean, what can I really add to this? I'll have to try it more on some other jobs and see how it works out. Anyways, thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter. If you're looking to buy some of that stuff, you can check out the website and the link below. Yeah, there's promise there. Hopefully there's some future development. Anyways, thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter. Till the next one.